Welcome to the FOMO Creator Show. I am your host, Making Sang, first name Making, and today we're going to be talking to the incredible Rachel Spencer. How are you, lovely, lovely Rachel?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. All the better for seeing you, my lovely.
Oh, thank you. It's really great to be here.
Oh, I am so chatty to be talking to you today. And let's tell the world a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Thank you. So, I'm Rachel, and I help small businesses in the pet industry with visibility and so they can reach more people, share the brilliant work that they do, and make an impact, help more pet parents and more animals. My background's journalism, and I started working with pet businesses about 4 years ago. So, that's predominantly what I do now. So, that is a little bit about me. I live in Newcastle upon Tyne with my dog and my partner, and yeah, and that's me.
Amazing. Now, I've watched a lot of shows in the past, and they introduce their guests and say, "Oh, yes, my good friend," la la la, and but we're like actual proper friends and everything, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We've met in real life many times.
We did. So this is the part of the show where I talk about how we met, and so we're just going to bring up a little photograph, which is a little a little memory of the first time that we actually met. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about this fabulous photograph of the two of us.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing this. So yeah, we met back in 2019 now, so coming up to 4 years ago. And it was when you were at Janet Murray's Build Your Online Audience live. And you were I was there learning about stuff. And you were there as a FOMO creator, but you'd also done a presentation about FOMO as well. And I remember watching you and thinking, oh, really, she's great. I really like her. I really like her. I want to go and chat to her. And then I also was listening to and thinking, actually, this is something that the people who I work with could really benefit from learning more about, because I, at the time, was helping people get press coverage. And I remember you talking about FOMO being like the gap between social media and PR. So I just thought, you know what, get your big girl pants on, go and talk to you, because you were obviously on the stage and stuff. And I'd only just started going to events back then as well. So I thought it was really brave to go in a costume. So I was just ran over and said, "Hi, Mickey, I'm going to talk to you. I'm Rachel, and this is what I do." And I just wondered if it might be okay to talk to you and do a quick Facebook Live for my Facebook group at the time about FOMO and the kind of things that you talk about. And you were really lovely and said, "Yeah, I will do." And we did a Facebook Live like there and then, didn't we?
We did, and I actually talked about you in when I was speaking in Edinburgh last week for Adventures in Marketing, and I love the fact that you talked about putting your big girl pants on, because in business we have to do that, and I absolutely love that you came up to me and asked me to go live into your Facebook group and talk about bridging the gap between social media and PR. And yeah, we had the wonderful Catherine who took that photograph as well, which was a wonderful, wonderful memory. Now, this show is called the FOMO Creator Show, and it is all about generating that fear of missing out, that buzz and excitement. And so I really want to talk about how your clients create FOMO. So let's have you talk and explain a little bit about one of your members from your memberships. Can we just bring up this slide here and talk a little bit about this lovely lady?
Okay, so the lady in the yellow jumper is Sandra, and I hope she doesn't mind me talking about her on here. I don't think she will, but she's brilliant. So Sandra and I, we worked together one to one last year in fact, we worked together one to one really since the beginning of last year. She's a dog trainer over in Berkshire, and she only actually set up her dog training business in September 2021. She'd been doing it part time, and then she went full time then. Now, what Sandra does really, really well is she's really into being part of her local community. And we talk about visibility, don't we, online? And we know that we need to be on social media and doing email marketing and doing all the things that we need to be doing. But what Sandra's really good at doing is going and being physically visible in her community. So she trains puppies and dogs. She goes, she gives, when people come into her puppy classes, they they go through the puppy program first, and then they go into what's called her superstar classes. And each dog, each puppy gets a bandana with "I'm a superstar" on, which is just like really cute, isn't it? And then they go out and they literally go around to all the different places in Pangbourne in Berkshire where she is, and they go and visit the coffee shop and the local bakers, the pet shop, and they're out and about, and they've got these little bandanas on, obviously being cute and being puppies, and that creates a massive buzz and so much FOMO that other people who've got dogs will come over and say, "Oh my gosh, actually, like, what is this? And can my dog be part of it?" So it's visibility and FOMO and cuteness and puppies all into one, and it's just brilliant. And Sandra's also like the most lovely lady as well. She's such a kind person. She's really, really just so committed to her clients and their pets and everything. That slide that we just showed there, that was actually something that she's done recently, where she's started a swap and share box. So if people's puppies have grown out of their harnesses or collars and that kind of thing, they can bring them along and another puppy can go and take them away, because we've obviously got the cost of living crisis at the moment. So that's helping give back as well. But she does this brilliant FOMO in real life. The other thing that she does as well is she posts photos and videos of her sessions on social media, and you'll see things like, a Boston Terrier on a skateboard, or, just all these, like one of the things that she did, she took Danny DeVito cardboard cutout to one of the training sessions. And like, she then posts it on Facebook, and then people are like, "What is going on here? And how can I be a part of it?" And it's just so brilliant. I live in Newcastle, so I'm like a good 4 hours away from where she is. And I've obviously got a dog. And I'm literally like, I want to get in the car and drive there because I've got so much FOMO. And she's just brilliant at it. And she's not someone who's spent years studying social media or anything like that. She just shows what she does, and keeps it really simple. It's like, okay, this is what we're doing today, and it creates FOMO.
I absolutely love that. And, I think that for a lot of business owners, we need to show people what we do on social media, and showing a little bit about behind the scenes, showing that we're, we're loving what we're doing. Because if we love what we do, then, our lurkers will hopefully love what we do, get FOMO, and then go and go and connect with us. So that is an amazing story there. That's fantastic. Now we've got the wonderful Kim from Leo, Charlie, and Me fame. Now, I actually listen to your podcast quite a bit because I learn a lot from your podcast, even though I don't have a pet business. And absolutely love Kim's stories. And Twinkle, my cat's loving it so much, she's coming to join us as well. So, Rachel, tell us a little bit about Leo, Charlie, and Me, and Kim.
So Kim is a wonderful lady. Kim is she's been a client of mine for a good few years now. She's one of the first people to ever put her faith in me when I started showing people how to get press coverage, and she's a very special lady. Anyway, she runs this lovely company called Leo, Charlie, and Me. She used to be a school nurse, and then the black spaniel who you can see on the slide, she's called Charlie, and Charlie is a female. What happened with Charlie was people always used to think she was a boy, so she started, because Kim, she used to sew when she was growing up, and she loved making loved having a sewing machine and making things. So she started making like pretty bandanas and things for Charlie, so people knew that she was a girl. And then I guess this is FOMO created as well, because that's just how her business started. She'd actually retired from being a school nurse, but when she started making her products, people would say, "Oh, could you make something for my dog? That's really pretty, I really like it." So her business grew from basically people asking for her to make things for their pets. But Kim she doesn't think that she she doesn't, like, she's not somebody again who's thinking, "Oh, I want to make loads of money for my business." She just does things and that naturally generate FOMO. And she's just absolutely brilliant at it. So Kim's most crazy story, in fact, it's probably my most crazy client story ever, was in the run up to the 2019 elections. And she'd made this Christmas pudding bandana and collar set, this print with Christmas puddings on. Anyway, she had the idea to send one to 10 Downing Street, right? So the Prime Minister's at the time, Boris Johnson, he just rescued this dog called Dylan, and she sent this parcel with this bandana in, and they opened it and put it on the dog, and he wore it throughout the election campaign. And when Boris Johnson won the election in 2019, he held up Dylan in his arms, and he's wearing Kim's bandana that she'd made for him.
Wow.
No,
It's amazing.
so although people like, I'm not going to get political on here, or talk about the ins and outs of the UK government, but it did really create a buzz around Kim and what she was doing. And because she was this lovely lady who was, sitting in a spare bedroom making bandanas, and then suddenly it's being worn by the Prime Minister's dog and being screened all over the world, that did generate a lot of interest in her and what she did. And she sold out of her Christmas pudding collection, and she was selling. They were being sent out all over the world, to like all kinds of
Wow.
really, really random places. And she even had a documentary company get in touch, and they were recreating the 2019 election for a TV show. And they said, "Oh, can you please make this bandana and lead set, because we need to put it on the dog that's acting as the Prime Minister's dog." So she had to go and find a load of scraps left over from this set. She brought out the material to make another one for this film set. So she's brilliant. But she's really good at FOMO creating all year round. And she did Theopathy, Theopathy Small Business Sunday. She won that a few
Yeah.
years ago. And
Wow.
she ended up doing Theopathesis spring fair, and then as a result of that, she had lots of people approach her for wholesale orders. So it's really helped her business thrive, and she's just a natural FOMO person.
And I think you find that, people who are really passionate about what they do, they just can't wait to tell the world about what it is they do, but not in an
Yeah,
icky salesy way, but in the, behind the scenes way of showing what they're doing, and showing, different patterns, I guess, for bandanas, and, and also, I mean, sending a bandana to 10 Downing Street. I mean, that takes, putting on your big girl pants on. I mean, that takes guts. That's amazing, isn't it? That's
yeah.
fantastic. So, Kim is one of your, dedicated followers of members of your membership. We've heard a couple of amazing stories of how, your clients have generated FOMO for their business. What I want to know is, though, Rachel, how do you create FOMO?
Okay. Well, I just listen to you, Kim. I just do what you say. No, I feel like we hear so much. We get so much advice, don't we, about like what we should and shouldn't be doing. And I've followed loads of advice over the years, and some things have worked out. Some things have worked out really well. Some things have worked out, haven't really worked out or haven't felt right for me. But I think the main thing that I do to create FOMO is just kind of share a little bit of the behind the scenes, what's going on in my world, what kind of things I'm working on. I share a lot of putting my clients in the spotlight, like I have done here today with Sandra, a really great example, and with Kim. I do a lot of shout outs for what people are doing. I share the love for what I'm doing with my clients. I share the love for what they do. And another thing is I say thank you. And I know you talk about this a lot. I remember seeing you talking about it on LinkedIn, and it really resonated. And we've talked about it when we've chatted on my podcast, haven't we? Like, one of the best ways for you to get publicity and to, reach more people is to say thank you. And it's so simple, and not many people do it. So yeah, that's them. I would say they're my key things that I do to generate FOMO.
And that's what you did with this screenshot. You said thank you, didn't you? Because you were just showing a bit of, again, behind the scenes of what members are going to expect when they become, part of your mini membership, and they get this fabulous booklet. And you were thanking the creators of the booklet. But from that one Instagram post, you got two signed up members, didn't you?
Yeah, so this was when I first started my membership, and Alison, my graphic designer lady, she's just brilliant, and she made these workbooks for me, and I'd obviously post them out. She packaged them really. She packaged them up and made them look all nice, like far better than anything that I would ever have done. So she created them, she designed them, printed them out, packaged them up, and then she'd send them out. And I posted a picture of the workbook and just said a little bit about what it was about, and what people get, a little bit of the behind the scenes of what it's like to work with me and what the resources are and things like that. And yeah, and then two people signed up, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I do, you do things that are quite time intensive and quite energy intensive to launch things, don't you? And then you post a photo of a workbook and two people sign up, and it was like, okay, I know it's part of the momentum that you've already built and the snowball effect and all that kind of thing, but it was like, hang on a minute, that just happened. So yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right. It wasn't just that one Instagram post that caused the two people to sign up. They've been lurking on your stuff a while.
Yeah.
And you consistently show up on the socials, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Instagram, whether it's in your Facebook group. You've got your podcast as well. And I just wanted to show because I absolutely love seeing you on LinkedIn and Facebook. But I just wanted to show a little bit about Instagram as well, because on your grid, you consistently show up, as I mentioned, you're always giving really useful tips on how pet businesses can generate more PR for themselves. And so, those two lurkers were probably lurking on, listening to your podcast or listening to, watching your LinkedIn post or reading your Instagram post as well. And then as soon as you did that behind the scenes shot of your booklet, that's, they signed up. So, can you talk me through some of the lessons that you've shown here?
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to point, but you can't see because anyway. So the one on the bottom left hand side, so that's kind of FOMO creating. That was a lady called Helen who left me a really lovely review. I did a Show Your Pet Business Some Love challenge a couple of weeks ago, and she joined in the challenge. We had a really great week. And she decided she was going to join my mini membership, and we did some live calls and we did lives in the challenge. I signposted her to lots of helpful stuff in the challenge. And then one of the tasks from the challenge was to leave show some love and leave a review, or show some love and share a discount code, show some love and give somebody a shout out. That was part of the challenge. And she left me a review. So she's obviously left me a review. I'm really chuffed. And she's also talked about what it's like to work with me as well. So I have I've basically said thank you for the review, but inside of her review, she is talking about what it's like to work with me as well. So it's not like I'm trying to be really, strategic or snide or anything like that. I'm just like, yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing because this lovely lady's left me this lovely review. So that's one example. Number two, the one in the middle at the bottom, that's about Crufts. Obviously, we know Crufts is coming up. I know that people will want to, if you're going to Crufts, you've got a dog that you're showing there, or even if you're a brand and you're exhibiting at Crufts, it's a really good media opportunity. So that's a really straightforward. Do you need to write a press release? If so, I can, I've got a guide that can help you. And also, if you are at Crufts, you want to be creating some FOMO as well, because it's really exciting, isn't it? So you should absolutely be using Crufts to build a buzz around your business. The little pie chart thing, that was this was a bit more behind the scenes, really. I decided when I did my free challenge that I would ask and see how people found out about it, and then show the different platforms and how they'd contributed to bringing people in. So yeah, I think that was more of a little bit of a talking point, really. So it was talking about, how many people came in from reading my newsletter and my Facebook page, my Facebook group, Instagram, and my podcast. So that was a bit of behind the scenes. Because again, we've been talking about, like, in the challenge, we've been talking about things that people wanted to do. A lot of people said email newsletters. That was something they really wanted to get off the ground. And I signposted them to people like Helen Perry, Robin Kennedy, who could help make that happen. Again, all people that I've worked with and who I know, deliver really great training and really great content. So I wanted to share that, really, to demonstrate, actually, yeah, you said you want to do email marketing and you're thinking about starting a newsletter. This is how it's worked for me. So, a bit of food for thought there. Then we've got Introducing Pets Get Visible. That is a pure FOMO post. So I talked about, like, what you get if you're inside, what are the kind of things people work on. And that was, the idea behind that was to make people think, actually, yeah, I have seen her talking about this. There it is, all laid out in front of me. Is this going to be right for me? Then I did 5 lessons from my Show Your Pet Business Some Love challenge, which was, again, a bit of behind the scenes, really, but also a little bit of it was kind of, the idea was, keep going, being encouraging, and reflections about what I'd learned in the week. And my background's journalism, so I've always kind of gone from one, careered from one thing to the next, and you do one story and it's forgotten about the next day. You just go straight on to the next thing. Whereas with now, because I've done the coaching training and everything, I've realised that actually it's a really important thing to reflect on what we're doing and look at what we've learned and that kind of thing. And if someone had said to me like a year ago, or not, maybe 2 years ago, this is going to be the kind of thing you're going to be talking about, I'd have laughed in the face. But actually, I think stopping and reflecting is really good. So that was one of the reflections. That was one of the 5 lessons. Another one was about sharing the love and that people want to support one another. And I think there was one in there about like just saying thank you as well. So that was that post. And again, the idea behind that is like, I want to show people that if you come and join my challenges, you're going to get something really valuable from it. You get 5 days of being in a really nice community in a Facebook group, and you're going to, whether you decide you want to work with me at the end or not, you're still going to get something really valuable from it. And then the final one, get your pet business in the press in 5 simple steps. That is talking about, actually why you can do this yourself, and it is easy. And I've got a really simple guide for you to do that. And I talk through in the copy underneath a quick run through of what the 5 steps are. And actually, if you're getting FOMO because you're seeing other pet businesses, other dog trainers, or other pet, like you're seeing another dog trainer on the telly, or you've heard someone on the radio, or somebody's in a particular magazine, and you're thinking, well, why isn't it me? Why don't I get these opportunities? Then actually, this is how you can go about it. And then same if you've got a pet product. If if you're reading your dog magazine and you've seen such and such a lead company's got theirs in there, and you'd like to know how you go about doing that, it's about answering that FOMO by presenting this guide to them. So yeah, it all comes back to FOMO, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, and I just want to thank you for explaining all those bits and pieces. I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, actually. So with the fact that you show up on the socials a lot, you show up in your Facebook group a lot. You're dedicated to your pet podcast, and as I said, I listen to your podcast and learn so much from it. And I don't even have a pet business. You're on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram as well. Can you recall? I mean, we talked about how that one Instagram post, got you a couple of members. Do you have any other success stories that you want to share with, with the watchers today, with the viewers, just to inspire them to, put their big girl or boy or non-binary pants on and show up a little bit more in order to generate that buzz and excitement and FOMO? Is there a client or yourself that you want to, share a story about that would, that we'd love to learn from?
Do you know, I think one thing that jumped out then when you were talking was something that happened last year. So last year I decided to train to be a coach. So I have been giving coaching to people for a couple of years, but it was around how to get press coverage. So I knew my topic really well. I've got decades in journalism. I've worked in-house in PR for a short time. So I knew my topic really well, but I knew that I wasn't a qualified coach. And I kind of thought, okay, I want to know that I'm doing the coaching side right. So I went and did a coaching qualification. I only finished, it took all of last year to do, but it was a real eye opener, and I learned a lot about myself really. But one of the things that kept coming up was about being bold and putting your big girl pants on. And I remember having a conversation with one of my clients, Zoe, who's a dog trainer, and she's an amazing lady. She's got this huge dog training business over in Suffolk, and she's a real powerhouse. She had a background in corporate, working for big organisations like Tesco and John Lewis, and then she went into running this big business. And she was talking about, it's always the BSers who are bold, and it's always the people who are basically full of crap that, are out there, being out there, being visible. And that really struck a chord with me. Now, Zoe is out there. We've been working together for a good few years. So, she's very visible, but she was saying, it feels like, it's, if people aren't getting support in that area, it's always the BSers who are here, there and everywhere. And she just planted a bit of a seed really for me. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to put my big girl pants on. One of my clients had sent me this badge, which I love. And it's all about, putting your big girl pants on, being brave and doing things that feel a bit scary, but just doing it anyway. And I thought, I'm going to try and do something a little bit different around this topic about being bold. And it would be a free training all centered around helping people feel more confident putting themselves out there, and about how being bold isn't just for the BSers, literally from that line that Zoe said to me. So I took a bit of a chance, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do did a 5-day challenge, 5-day boot camp. And hello.
Sorry.
He's been very bold, isn't he?
She is, yeah, she's
Oh,
amazing.
love it. So I did this boot camp, and I didn't really know how it was going to go. And then I thought, I'm going to do a little bit of a course at the end of it called the Be Bold Boot Camp, and it went really well. And it was all around me putting my big girl pants on and trying something different, something away from press coverage, something that I really wanted to work on. I really wanted to try and help people feel more confident and give them the tools to feel more comfortable when it came to promoting the work that they do. And it was taking a bit of a chance, really, but it really worked out. So, and that's really shaped where I am now. I've now changed my membership from being focused purely on press coverage to being around and being visible, and the tools that you need to have to do that. And it's a blend of forward planning and coaching. So if people are either stuck because they've got something that they want to put out there, but they're not quite sure how to go about it, or they just feel like they need a little bit of support, then they've got that as part of it. So yeah, it was one of those where I'm glad I took the chance, because it really kind of sent me in a bit of a different direction, but one that I'm really enjoying. So.
Wonderful. Well, Rachel, it's been absolutely amazing talking to you. At this last segment of the show is to talk about, anything that you've got going on at the moment, the FOMO promo. So, is there anything that you really want people to find out more about you, and how they can get in touch?
Oh, thanks so much for the FOMO promo. So, main thing for me to talk about is always my podcast. So, it does say publicity for petbusinesses.co.uk on the bottom of the screen, but to be honest, whatever business you've got, just take out the dogs and cats and all the animal stuff in there, and the advice will work. So that's my first thing. And I guess my main thing now, my main focus is my mini membership, which is what I touched on a little bit there. And it's basically community coaching, content, forward planning, and a really lovely supportive space for people in the pet industry who want to, be more visible, be more brave, and showcase the brilliant work that they do and the impact that they have, because you don't want to be a best kept secret. And actually the stuff that they're doing, whether it's, offering services to animals, helping with training, pet sitting, or creating products that make people's lives better, it's really important that they are seen and they are visible. And I'm really passionate about that. So yeah, that's me. But do come and find me on social media. I'm at Rachel Spencer UK on all platforms. And whatever kind of business you've got, if you do want to chat about press coverage or anything really around my topics, then do just give me a shout.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Rachel. I am sure that the watchers, the viewers, took a lot from our program today. And if you do want to get in touch with Rachel, as she said, she's at Rachel Spencer UK on all the socials. Go and check out her Facebook group. Definitely go and check out her podcast. As I say, when I do go out driving, I do listen to her podcast and strip out the pets, it really does help to, it's definitely helped me in my business, and I know it will definitely help you too. So if you enjoyed this broadcast, I do hope that you'll tune in next week, where we're going to be talking to the fabulous Tim Hughes. He's going to be talking about creating FOMO for B2Bs, which is going to be exciting. So thank you once again. And I'm your host, Making Sang, first name Making, and this has been the FOMO Creator Show. Hit the credits, Mark!